What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a new video on my channel. Today we have a week recap of all the trades that I took this week. I ended up making $3,000 in profits this week, so I'm going to break down every single trade that I took every single day, and then hopefully you guys can learn something from this video. With that being said, guys, let's get started with the video. Here is the results that we had this week, guys, that I had this week. Monday was $80. It was a break even on Monday and Wednesday. Then we had $750 in profits on Tuesday. Then Thursday we lost the first setup on Nasdaq, and then ended up making money. The money that we lost, we ended up making it back plus profits. And then on Friday was a win on US 30. So I'm going to break it down. Let's get started with Monday. Monday, this was the setup that we took. All right, it was on Nasdaq. This setup was kind of late in the day. It was already 11:10 by the time that I took this setup. I like the rejection. I like that Nasdaq also broke these major lows right here on the 5-minute chart. As you guys can see, we went up. We was creating like a higher high, and then it went all the way back down, and then was breaking structure to the downside and left a supply. I ain't gonna lie, this supply was literally super low, but we had another break of structure of this low. We broke below it, and then mainly what I liked about this setup was a rejection right there at the zone with that doji candle, and then the next candle started pushing back down, and then it gave the candle entry right there, the break of candle entry, which I got in the position. And then it was super bad because, man, it was so close to hitting TP, like super close to hitting TP. My TP was at a 1-to-1 right here. It went super close to hitting TP, and then completely reversed, and I ended up closing as soon as it broke that candle high with this candle. So after I saw that this candle rejected and ended up closing bullish, and then the next candle started pushing back up and breaking the candle high, I ended up closing the trade right there for $80 win. That was the what I took on Monday, which I count that as a break even. I'm just putting the number, but I count that as a break even. So the reason why I close this trade is because after you come from this bearish engulfing candle, like, man, next candle should hit TP and break this candle low. There is no reason for you to have this amount of momentum on that candle, and then the next candle start closing bullish, and then the next candle breaking candle high. So I didn't like that. Plus it was already late on the day, and we had gaps to fill above over here from this drop. So I know that after 11 a.m. we usually like to do reversals, and that's exactly what happened on Nasdaq. So we did good at closing right there and just taking a break even to start the week. All right, so yeah, that was on Monday. Tuesday we took a very nice setup. It was on oil. It was kind of a counter trend setup because if you guys can see, well, oil was literally just consolidating, but the reason why I say this is counter trend is because I took a trade going towards the 200 moving average. Usually I don't do this, but what I liked about oil is that we had a double bottom formation, as you guys can see over here, and then we literally started pushing back up. We broke these highs over here. Let me see so you guys can see it better. We broke those highs right there, so this is extremely looking extremely beautiful. Like double bottom, we usually like to go to the beginning of the formation, and then yeah, we had the 200 EMA right there, which again, look at this, it rejected the 200, rejected the 200, rejected the 200. It doesn't usually like to break it, but man, this formation double bottom is like super good. Every time that I see it, if you have a demand right here after it breaks the neckline, that's what I call it right here, usually hits. He hits, and he usually likes to go to the starting point over here, and that's exactly what he did. It went down. I wasn't going to take this setup, if I'm being honest, because it was counter trend and we was below the 200. But once I saw that two candles came into the zone, the first one didn't close inside, and then the second one pushed even more in, like, more deeply into the demand, and it didn't even close inside the box. It ended up closing outside with some rejections. That's why I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take a chance on this setup, and I'm gonna just aim for a 1-to-1. I like that my 1-to-1 was exactly at the 200, so maybe wants to go up, retest that 200 once again, get me out of the position on my TP, and then if he wants to reverse, that's not my problem anymore. So and yeah, that's exactly what I did. I took the chance on it, and literally one candle hit TP, it rejected the 200. And the wonderful thing about this setup is that it struggled to break the 200, because of course It's very hard to break the 200 EMA, but it ended up breaking above it and coming back to the beginning of the formation, which is exactly what I always say about double bottoms and double tops. So this could have been an easy 1 to 2, 1 to 3 setup, or trade right here. It even went above for a 1 to 4, but let's be realistic. I wouldn't have hold the position for a 1 to 4. But yeah, I could have at least taken a 1 to 2, but the 200 EMA in the middle, guys, is just a game of probabilities. Same way it went up, it could have come down. So I just took my chance, got out of 1 to 1, and then took my profits to start the week. This was the first winning setup of the week. All right. So now, Wednesday we took an oil position, which oil did us dirty on Wednesday, man. It did us dirty for sure because this setup was looking good. It wasn't like the best quality setup, but if you guys can see, oil topped out after London session. Then it started breaking lows. Like these lows were broken right here. Then it broke these lows with this push, while also breaking these lows and these lows, and also it broke these lows over here. Well, it broke it after we was in the position. Sorry, but mainly we broke these lows, and these lows. All right, so when I'm seeing this, and we're also trading below the 200 EMA, when I saw that, I was willing to take a chance on oil, which my position, my entry was right here. As you guys can see, 200 inside the box. So it can hold as resistance right there. We have the 13 and the 200. I'm liking that, and I also like that it didn't close any candles inside the zone. As you guys can see, it just tapped the zone and then immediately rejected, and it rejected with a lot of volume. Look at that volume right there on that candle. That's literally a nice volume going away from the supply. So I liked that on this setup. I got in on that position. I took the chance on it, and then I ended up closing as soon as this candle was about to close. Like it had like 10 seconds left, and the candle was sitting like right here. I ended up closing at a break even for like a $70 loss, something like that. Because same thing that we saw on NAS on Monday. After you have this candle pushing down with a lot of momentum, you want the next candle to follow up with that momentum. You don't want the next candle to start playing out and closing bullish or anything like that. Well, same thing apply with oil. After you had this bearish engulfing candle pushing down with a lot of momentum, you don't want to see any like bullish candles like this one starting to reject and starting to reverse, because this is showing that it is getting weaker. All right, after you had so much momentum, why are you closing a bullish candle right now with rejections to the downside? It doesn't even make sense. So when it was about to close, I was giving it a chance to close to the candle. But once I saw that it was like 10 seconds left and the candle was right here, I'm like, oh yeah, there's no way that this is going to start pushing back down and close bearish. All right, so I'm just going to take my hit at break even. Then I stay watching the setup, and this is what happened. Oil came back. It will have stopped us out, so good by cutting that loss. But then it did this, literally. Look at that. So re-entry will have won, but I was just good for the day. Like I didn't take any re-entry on oil. I believe that this was also news for oil, like a orange folder. So that's the reason why it won as well, and it had so much volume. But it did us dirty because it could have won before news. That's what I was thinking. It had 1, 2, 3, 4 candles to win before news, and it just wanted to go back to stop loss before winning with the news. So it was crazy. I was tight this day for sure with oil. But it is what it is. You gotta move on. Then we came on Thursday. I mean, by the way, all these trades are posted on the Cygnus group, guys. So if you want to take all these trades with me, make sure that you join the Cygnus group, which is in the description. I said it. I tried to make this Cygnus group as cheap as possible, so most of you can join. If you don't want to, like right there, you can just join and learn from the trades that I'm taking as well. Like if you don't want to pay for a course or something like that, you just join the Cygnus group. You see the setups that I'm taking, study them, see why I'm taking them. I explain them on the Cygnus group to everyone, and then you can start taking your own trades in a couple months. That's it. That's literally what I did in the beginning as well. So, but on Thursday, moving on to Thursday, this was Nasdaq. Sorry for a second. Nasdaq did us dirty on Thursday, but then it blessed us. All right, so this was the setup that we took on Nas 100 on Thursday. As you guys can see, 200 EMA right here. We started breaking up, like we broke these major highs with this momentum right there. You guys can see, broke major highs on Nasdaq. We was looking bullish, all the EMAs below. We came back into the zone, and then we rejected it and didn't close any candles inside. I like that. Then it started playing, like it started consolidating in there for a second until it gave the candle entry, which I took my entry right there at the candle break. and then Nasdaq literally started pushing up and came all the way back down to um to stop us out. We was in drawdown. I ended up closing my position like right here and took like $900 loss. I should have closed my position as soon as we broke below that candle low right there, but I was like, just because we had the 50 MA SMA, I was giving it a chance to at least reject. Once I saw that it was about to close and it wasn't rejecting, I just ended up closing my position right here for like a $900 loss. And then I stay watching the position because I'm like, man, 2 days back to back that we take a setup, it push up, and then it comes all the way back to stop us out. And then Nasdaq literally came back into the zone, rejected the zone, didn't close any candles inside, and instead ended up closing a nice bullish candle right there. So when I saw that, I was willing to give it another try. My entry was literally right there. It's kind of the same entry, like at the same level from my original entry the first time. And then as soon as it broke, I entered the position right there, and then it just went to TP in 2 candles. So we made the money back, plus we made more profits. That was the biggest day, which was a 2.4K trade minus 900. I ended up making like $1,300 that day. So yeah, that was on Thursday. Nice trade on Nasdaq, and then it was literally it because after that it just reversed. So yeah, US 30 was the one that we took on Friday. And by the way, shout out to gold. Gold was literally doing amazing on Thursday. I didn't take it because it was all-time highs, but gold had this demand over here, guys, that it won, literally won. Then it had another demand over here that also won. So two demands that won back to back on gold. I didn't take it. First one because the stop loss was huge, and the second one I didn't take it because we was already in all-time highs and I didn't want to take the chance. And then I took NAS, ended up losing, and then it ended up blessing me. So it is what it is. This is a game of probabilities. But shout out to gold. I think that gold on Thursday was one of the best days this week, alongside US 30 on Friday. With US 30 on Friday, I'm going to break it down for you guys right here. Um, this was the US 30 trade that I took. First of all, we had a setup on US 30. This one right here, as you guys can see, that demand right there on US 30, it literally tapped the demand, grabbed liquidity, break of the candle, it ended up going up. That should have been a beautiful trade. Why didn't I take that trade? Just because I wasn't feeling a liquidity grab for US 30 on Friday, and I also saw that this push to the upside didn't break the main highs. It didn't break the main highs. Yes, it was taking liquidity, it was tapping a demand, and those setups usually hit. But I would have liked to see a break of high first, like breaking the highs on US 30, the major highs, break of high, then come back, grab that liquidity, tap the demand, and then I would have taken that setup. But just because we didn't have a break of structure right there on US 30, we didn't even, well, I think, yeah, on this one, we did break these minor ones, but we didn't break the major high right here. So that's why I didn't even take it. And then when the New York Stock Exchange came, it had another demand right here, US 30, which if you zoom in a little bit, like let's zoom in a little bit, you can see that it never got invalidated. It never tapped the bottom of the zone. So that demand was still valid to take. The only bad thing is it was at 9:30. So 9:30 a.m. it is the New York Stock Exchange open, but if you have taken a chance on it, it will have hit your one-to-one and you will have been done for the day. And then after that, this is the trade that I literally took. So US 30 broke highs over here, and now we are above the major highs that we had before. Right here we broke the highs, and then it left a demand right there. So that's the demand that I took on US 30. Took the break of the candle, we're sitting above the EMAs as well. Took the break of the candle and then got out at a one-to-one. That's all I needed. That was already up for the week, so I wasn't trying to hit a home run on Friday or anything like that. Just one-to-one and get out of the position and go enjoy my day and my weekend. So yeah, and then US 30 threw another demand over here, which I think lost at first, but then the re-entry will have won and made you guys back more money, because if you held the position a little bit, it went for like a 1 to 1.5. So, and even if you held runners, even more to the upside right here, like a 1 to 2. So US 30 was blessing on Friday for sure. US 30 was the pair on Friday, and then gold on Thursday was the pair. So let me know in the comments which one you think was the pair of the week. Was it gold on Thursday or was it US 30 on Friday? For me, I would say US 30 on Friday. I know gold on Thursday was super clean, but it only gave two demand setups, only two setups. US 30, you could have made so much money. Like Anything that you have taken on US 30 on Friday, I mean, one demand over here, then the second demand over here at the New York Stock Exchange open, then the third demand over here, then the fourth demand will have made back your money. Even this demand right here after session, your entry will have been over there, and boom, it will have skyrocket after that. So I think like four setups that on US 30 that you could have won on. So against two of gold on Thursday. So I feel like US 30 on Friday was the best setup and the best day of the week. So let me know in the comments which one was the best setup or pair for you of the week. And with that being said, that's it for today, guys. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Peace.